Now, Warrant, you have previously testified before this honorable court, and I've also previously asked you questions, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the purpose of my engagement this time is not to regurgitate what we have previously discussed, but I'm going to recap on some of the points so that I'm laying the basis of going into exhibit DD4 in brackets B.
Manje ke okwami asikonaka ukuthi sibuyele emuva ke siphinde lokho bese khulume ngako ngaphambilini kodwa nje ukuthi ke nje ngikhombise ukuthi ngaphambi kokuthi ngingene kuyena ke uexhibit lona 44B.
Now, your testimony before is that you received, and even yesterday, that you received this cell phone on the 20th of October 2021 from Sergeant Mukhani. Is that correct? Sorry? So when did you receive the cell phone? In fact, let me not put words into your mouth. When did you receive the cell phone from Sergeant Mukhani?
Angikubuza ngale ndlela uma lo makhalekhukhwini uthola kwakunini uthola kuyena uSergeant Mukhani?
Kwakumhla ka 2021 02 08.
2021 02 08.
What is the significance of the 8th of February 2021? I'll tell you. Actually, I'll remind you, but if you already know, make sure you drop it in the comment section down below. So Bongani Ntanzi was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. And then somehow jiggy, no one took his phone, because he's a very, very wanted criminal. He had all these escorts, but at the same time, as such a intimidating criminal, he still managed to keep his phone with all that security around him. Let me read this comment. It says, I've never seen a dangerous, most wanted, notorious arms dealer and Ponyuga Vempete criminal like Bongani Ntanzi that loves to take so many pictures, then quickly deletes them before getting arrested. Maybe he was documenting his life for a Netflix movie. So I think it's absolutely ridiculous hogwash, you name it, that the state found in quotations all these deleted photos which were taken before Bongani Ntanzi was arrested, and somehow he decided to delete them. And none of the deleted photos were taken on the 26th of October 2014. Oh my goodness. So he was arrested. Somehow he managed to keep his phone. Through all that torture, no one saw a phone on him. He kept his phone. He's used his phone. He kept it the entire time. He had his phone the entire time until when it was confiscated on the 8th of February 2021, when they did a random search of his cell and Mahola found it. So that is the significance of that date. Let's continue listening on.
Okay. And with respect to, because I'm going to touch a lot on this X-ray. My learned colleague says XRY, I'll say X-ray. We are using the same thing. Because if I keep on saying XRY, I'll speak until Mandela is resurrected. So I'll simply say X-ray, right? So you are saying your training includes the following: X-ray logical forensic toolkit, X-ray physical forensic toolkit, X-ray smartphone, and examine. Examine is XAMN, correct?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Lana ke yebo ikona ukuqeqesha ngakuthola ke lokhu X uthe Mr. Ramosepele uma ubiza kumshushuthi XRY yena uzothi ke X-ray uma forensic toolkit, physical forensic therapy, X-ray smartphone kanye nale ibizo ngokuthi examine. Bona ke ama trainings lawo engawenzi noma engawathola.
And in your evidence today, you referred to a physical and a logical examination. In brief, just describe those of us who are not familiar with what you were talking about.
Uma bukhuluma ke ngawo ke ama physical kanye nama logical uchazele ke abathina ke labo abangangakwazi ke lokho ukuthi kuyini.
Ebe ngichaza lapho ukuthi uma ngabe usebenzisa X-ray njengoba ushiya kunendlela embili zoku-extracta i-data ku-device.
What I was saying there is that, as you mentioned it, there are two ways of extracting from a device here.
Uma ngabe u-extracta i-phone kuwukuthi ufuna into ebonakalayo efonini. uyenza ngo-logical.
If you extract something from the phone, you want something that is visible, that can be seen on the phone, then you make use of logical.
And then uma ngabe u-extracta ifone kuwukuthi ufuna nalokhu mhlawumbe okudeletiwe usebenzisa u-physical.
If you then extract something from the phone and then you also want that which has been deleted, then you make use of physical.
Okay. And are these processes, the physical and the logical extraction, done simultaneously, or is one done before, then the other follows?
Ingaba le nhlelo lezi ke zenziwa ngesikhathi esodwa noma ke kuqala kwenziwe enye bese enye iyalandela ke.
Njengoba ngichaze ukuthi zimbili uwe odecider ukuthi ufunani wenza eyodwa.
As I've already mentioned that there are two, it depends on you as to what it is that you want, so you only do one.
Okay. Now, because you say you received the cell phone from Sergeant Mohani, there are certain chain of custody issues that are lingering in the back of my mind. Let's then address this issue of chain of custody. Do you understand chain of custody as it pertains to evidence, forensic and otherwise?
Uma kukhulunywa ke ngoba ke ikhona lokho ke ekukhulunywa sekukhulunywa nge-chain of custody kwakhe nayo ke uMukhane uma sekufikelela la ngaba ke uma kukhulunywa nge-chain of custody ngaba uya-understand yini ukuthi kusho ukuthini? Yes, I do.
What is chain of custody according to your understanding?
Ngendlela wena ke uyi-understand ngayo iyini?
I-chain of custody ichaza ukuthi le device eyi-exhibit kuyaye kade itholakele kuphi ifike kanjani komunye nakomunye ekuthile ekugcineni yileyo chain leyo akhuluma ngayo.
Chain of custody is that this exhibit or this device, which is now an exhibit, where was it? How did it get to the next person? And then thereafter up until the end. That is the chain of custody.
Now, in this instance, sorry, Warrant.
And then okunye engachaza kuleyo process leyo ihamba nama-statement achazayo uma ngabe uyireceive kufanele usho ukuthi uyithole ngaliphi ilanga ngasiphi isikhathi and then wena wenzani ngayo then till isuka kuwe.
And also it's accompanied by statements that on which day did you get it, what did you then do after getting it, and also when it's moving away from you, in other words, it being now moved somewhere else.
Now, in this instance, receiving the cell phone that contains 2 SIM cards and an SD card from Sergeant Mohani, can you describe your process of documenting the chain of evidence for those devices that you received from Sergeant Mohani?
Usutholile ke le device lena ke kuyena ke uSergeant Mohani usungachaza ke manje ke ukusebenza kwakho noma ke ukwenza kwakho uma ngabe usukuthola lama device amabili kuyena uSergeant Mohani.
Ngicabanga ukuthi naseqaleni ngachaza ukuthi i-cellphone ngayireceive ngomhla ka-8 kaFebruary 2021 ngayithatha ngayibeka ku-safe.
I think I mentioned this even before or previously, that I received the device or the cell phone on the 8th of February 2021 and I placed it in a safe.
Kwase kuthi ngomhla ka-20 October 2021 yila ngayikhipha khona ngayosebenza ngayo.
Then on the 20th of October 2021, that's when I then took it out or booked it out to work on it.
Njengoba ngangichazile ukuthi isizathu salapho phakathi kwale ama-date lawo yingoba sinomsebenzi omningi. I-evidence or i-device uma ifika nayo siyayisithathe siyireceive sibeke ku-safe ilinde nayo isikhathi sayo ngoba zihamba ngeline neline.
And the reason for that, I also explained, that it's because we have a lot of work. So when a device comes in, it's then placed in a safe. So then when it's time comes to work on it, because it's according to in other words, you work according to a sequence.
And then ngiqaphele ukuthi uma ngireceive i-cell phone or i-device ngichecka ukuthi is properly sealed, it was just tampered with.
And when I receive a cell phone or a device, I check whether it was properly sealed or tampered with.
Nanoma ngiyikhipha esafini ngiyayi-check ukuthi isese-right.
Also, when I take it out of the safe, I check whether it's still in a proper condition.
Then bese ngiyayisebenza uma ngiqeda futhi ngiyayisila.
I then work on it, and when I'm done, I seal it again.
Then ngiyibuyisela esafini ilinde u-investigating officer azoyicollect.
I then put it back in the safe to wait for the investigating officer to come and collect it.
Yilokho mina engikwenzayo.
That's what I do.
Okay. Sorry, Advocate Tibanda, I'm going to request Exhibit DD4 in brackets B from the pages 1 that we read from, so that I can take this witness through my cross-examination. Now, Warrant, I'm going to speak your language and you speak it better than me. I've seen on some of these photographs, go to the second one, Mr. Sibanda, because I want to see if it says exif metadata. Yes, yeah, this one. You see on all of it, amongst the data that is that is there, it says EXIF, and then it will say the data, EXIF and the data. What is this EXIF? What does it mean? What does it refer to?
I don't know, maybe you can explain.
Okay, from my understanding, it means the interchangeable image file format. That is the format in which a device saves images like photographs in it. Now, amongst others, it will contain certain properties. That is the camera that it took, the shutter, everything. I'm not interested in those technical aspects. All I'm interested in is the timestamp. Do you understand the timestamp?
The timestamp, you understand?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
What is it, sir?
Isikhathi isithombe esathathwa ngaso.
It's the time on which the photo was taken.
So, and what else is included in the timestamp?
Nesikhathi.
The time.
Okay. And then I'm also interested in the place where that photograph was taken at the time it was taken. What will show that place according to your understanding of this EXIF metadata?
Okunye futhi ke indawo kuyona ke le EXIF lena yini ezokhombisa noma ezotshengisa yona ke indawo isithombe sathuthukela kuyona.
The location, what will determine the location where the photograph was taken?
Yini ezochaza indawo la khona isithombe sathuthukela khona.
Ngicabanga ukuthi mina ngokwami kwazi mangabe kunama coordinates avelayo lapha ila uzokhona ukubona khona.
I think according to my understanding, my knowledge is that when there are coordinates there, that's where you'll be able to.
And you are quite correct. I'm not going to fault you. It will be the coordinates of the GPS. If, like you explained under Advocate Sibanda, Advocate Munisi, that if the location is turned on, when you take a photo, it will show the location where that photo was taken at the time. Correct?
Nanjengoba kushilo ke ukuthi ke uma ngaba location on.
Kunjani?
That's correct.
Now, before we go to the location, because I'm like I said, I'm going to be interested in a few aspects to take you through. I'm interested in the cuff draw that we've seen in some of the photographs. I'm interested in the location. I'm interested in, and by the cuff draw, by the way, cuff draw / deleted, me and you will understand, but we'll make it easier for the court and the rest of us, right?
Mina-ke nawe sizozazi ke lezi zinto kodwa sokwenza lula ke lokho sikwenzela ke inkantolo kanye futhi ke abanye bethu.
And I'm interested in the GPS location. If there are GPS location, if there's not, I'll take you through why it's not there or why should it be there. Then you'll give your explanations. Now, before we go there, warrant officer, can you explain how this X-ray software determines the origins of the photos on a cell phone? Do you understand my question?
Ngicela uphinde.
Can you repeat it?
Explain how the X-ray software determines the origins of a cell phone. I mean, of a photo in a cell phone.
Okay.
Let me make it easier for you.
Yeah, because you understand.
Yes.
Please go.
A photo is captured by the actual device.
Isithombe sisetshenziswa umakhalekhukhwini uqobo i-device.
Right, and it will be saved in the SD card, if there's an SD card, or in the memory of that phone, correct?
Izosave kuyona ke i-SD card noma ke ku-memory uma ikhona.
Kunjani?
Correct.
And the photo will then, if I know you, we are friends, I'll share that photo with you. So your origin, it will be Ramosepele.
Uma ke mina nawe ke sazana singabangani sidluliselana ke ithombe kuyona ke la izochaza ukuthi buyaphi izobhala uRamosepele.
Kunjalo ngicabanga ukuthi engingak-explaina lapho. If une photo efonini yakho.
Yes.
Then uya ku details. Uma ngabe ithi DCIM camera.
Yes.
Leyo photo leyo ithethwe ifoni yakho camera. Then uma ngabe uya ku
if you have a photo on your phone and then you go to details, then there is what's called DCIM. Then DCIM camera. Then it indicates or says that it was taken using your phone.
And then okunye uma ngabe une sithombe efonini yakho.
And if you have a photo on your phone,
then uya lapha ku details.
and you go to details,
Then uzothola ikunika le number ethi JPEG number then but ngale egcineni ingaba no WA. Then iyasho ukuthi lesithombe siphuma ku WhatsApp, then uma ngabe sibuya ku someone else uyokhona ukubona phansi ukuthi said received.
iti
received.
And then there is what is referred to or called JPEG, and then there is WA, which then says that it was, it indicates that it was via WhatsApp, and it also indicate received.
And then esinye isithombe mhlawumbe bangabe usithole ku-Facebook nakhona siyabhala lapho ukuthi sibuya ku-Facebook then.
And then the other photo, if it comes from Facebook, it also indicates that it was received or it came through, the source was Facebook. We are able to see that.
So ngokwami ukwazi i-X-ray ayishintshi lutho kokusefonini iyenza njengoba injalo.
And according to my knowledge is that X-ray does not change anything on the phone or from the phone. It does it exactly as it is.
So similarly, if I understand you correctly, if then that photo is saved onto an SD card because it's not the actual device of the phone, it's an addition, will that also show on the saved photo in the SD card the origin of that photo?
Okay.
If the phone, sorry, Pastor Jonas, let me clarify it easier for you. Now, I capture a photograph, right? It's saved in the SIM card or the memory of the device itself, the cell phone itself. Right. Now, if I transfer the very same photograph into an SD card, will it show in the SD card the origin of that photo?
Uma sengidlulisela ku-SD card, kwi-SD card izotshengisa yini ukuthi sibuya kuphi nendawo?
Noma ingeke isikhombise ukuthi sibuya kuphi, kodwa ezokwenza izosho ukuthi le-SD card ngesikhathi i-receiver le photo ibikade ingaphakathi kwale device.
Okay.
Although it won't indicate the origin or the source, but it will say that at the time when this SD card received this photo, it was inside this device.
Now, the reason why I'm asking this, and I don't want us to be too technical because this is for an understanding of all of us, and you are guiding us. Let's then go to the last three photos, Mr. Sibanda. I'll come back to this one. That Mr. Munisi canvassed, Advocate Munisi canvassed with you towards the end of his cross-examination. That is the photos depicting what he said was Mr. Sibia, who's accused number one in this court, and the subsequent photos 17, 18, 19.
So if you don't already know, Rams is the technical guy of the defense team, okay? He will go into the depths and valleys and striations of any technicality, and the last time we saw that was during the cross-examination of Mangena and all the others in the ballistic department. He was really going hard with the technical language. You will remember at Advocate Ngomezulu's funeral, the late, may his soul rest in peace, Rams actually said he will miss Ngomezulu. He was such a jovial guy. He was always joking. And every Monday, he used to call me different kind of names depending on what was going on in court. During the ballistics, he'd say, "How are you doing, Mr. Striations?" Drop a one in the comment section if you remember the time of striations and listening to all that technical jargon. So now he's going into what happens. He wants to know what does he say? He says that, I'm not even going to bother saying XRY. I'm going to call it X-ray because, if I spend my time saying XRY, I will speak until Mandela is resurrected. Wow. I didn't see this coming. That, ladies and gentlemen, we missed it. That was the big, huge red flag that Ramosepele waved at the beginning of his cross-examination to say danger coming, okay? Don't come in my way. Don't object. I mean business. I've already put up the video where you get to hear Ramosepele flogging, or should I say flogging, Dr. Sibanda. But here's the thing. So he is cross-examining Warrant Officer Ndlovu, okay, who is an analyst, and he says to him, "Do you know what chain of custody is?" Like when you're doing your job and you've been doing it for so long, and then someone comes and asks you a basic question that you haven't had to answer in a while, on the spot, it's kind of difficult to explain. So now Ndlovu explains all the chain of custody that happened when he got the phone. He received it. He checks. He makes sure. Is it in a sealed bag? Does it come with the accompanying statements? Where has the phone been? He checks it and then he puts it inside the safe because they've got a backlog. So from February all the way until October. That phone was seated in the safe in a sealed bag with the 2 SIM cards and the SD card. And then finally in October, he's ready to analyze the phone. And that is when all these downloads start to happen. So this is the technicalities that Ramosepele is putting on the record, okay? Let's see where else he goes with this.
Now, if you look at this photo, because now we see the metadata is quite limited compared to the first photos. Can you tell whether or not this particular photograph was shared between devices or amongst devices?
Ngoba uma ubheka la okubhaliwe lana ke akukho kuningi njenga lezi ke edlulile. Ungasho ke la ukuthi lesi isithombe sona ke kwakusetshenziswa omakhalekhukhwini ukuthi ke sindluliswe.
Angikwazi ukubona njengoba sinje.
As the photo is like this, I can't see that.
But as an analyst, are there, when you do the downloading and analysis, are there what are termed artifacts or data points that can guide you to know whether or not a particular photograph was shared amongst or between devices?
Ngaba khona yini okwenzayo ke noma yini okungakusiza ukuthi uthole ukuthi ke isithombe lesi bekusetshenziswa noma bekuyisithombe esisuka emakhalekhukhwini ethize sandluliselwa komunye.
Uma ngabe wenza analysis uyakhona ukubona lokho, especially isithombe ngabe sisekhona efonini.
If you do analysis, you can see that, especially when the photo is still on the phone.
Ngoba uma usibheka nakhona uma ubheka le file name la iyasho ukuthi shared.
Okay.
Because if you look at that file name there, it does say shared.
Now, in your experience, can X-ray distinguish between photos that were shared via Bluetooth, MMS, and other methods?
X-ray lena yona ke iyakwazi yini ukusho ke ukuthi ke isithombe lesi sithunyelwe setshenziswa i-Bluetooth, i-MMS noma ezinye indlela.
Ngisengikazi ngikwenze lokho. Anginaso isiqiniseko salokho.
I've never done that, so I'm not certain about that.
Kodwa engingaqinisekisa ukuthi mangabe ngi-analyzer efonini then ngiyakhona ukubona lokho.
But what I can say is that when I analyze on the phone, I'm able to see that.
If Mshololo does cross-examination, he is not going to walk out of there an analyst. What do you mean you have never checked how a photo was shared, whether it's via Bluetooth, MMS, and others? Ladies and gentlemen, I move from the photos to be taken off the record. That analysis was not done for any photo. He's just said it, literally. Ndlovu said no, he's never done it. But if it's on the phone, he will do it. But the fact of the matter is, he said he has never done it. In his entire career, he's never checked the source of photos. But in Ramosepele is on a roll and he's very, very unfiltered right now. But I just want to highlight. Oh no, that's fine. It was 2020, so yeah, we had. I thought it was 2014. Where definitely there's no way there was Bluetooth transfer of photos, but disregard that comment. We're with you, Ramosepele. We are behind you. Where are we going next with this X-ray done information and transfer of photos? We'll catch you on part B. Bye, guys.